Welcome to the service, y'all. Powerful congregation. Look at that coming in already. Coming in to speak to us already. Today we're going to bring the community together. We got some hateful news, but we're going to bring love to it. We're going to find the positive in it. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's all queued up, ready to go, baby. Ready to go, baby. And then I have this 1960s video that I want to show you. Oh my goodness. Y'all know I don't like it. I don't like this homophobia. I don't like this homophobia. I think it's a sin, quite frankly. I think it's a sin. But we're going to get into it right now. We're going to get into it on today's service. Look at these new shots we got, though, eh? Look at this. Look at a little shot of the ashram. Welcome to my digital ashram. Look at that. That's a nice shot. From Rewind Cat. Rewind Cat gave that to us. Salman Khalaf is here. Justin Consciousness is here. We are here to raise the vibration, people. We are here to raise it. Let's bring in the congregation right away, shall we? Let's take off the scale of righteousness. We know we're righteous. We know we're all righteous, and we got a strong congregation today. We got a powerful congregation today. Peace to the congregation. What's up, Zemzem? Thanks for coming, Salman Khalaf. Send me more topics, dude. I remember you sent me a topic, something, the Palestinians are just, they're going through it right now. And we need more topics on that. So if you want to send me topics, I would appreciate that. Justin Consciousness with that ranch.
Wow, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
Well, that's correct. That is correct. We are just a little buttercup. And we're going to get pumped up. We got a very powerful congregation here. We're ready to do some rips and do some dips. Let's go into our first. Listen, guys, I've told you before, it is Kali Yuga. What does Kali Yuga mean? It means that we're being pulled into fear all the time. We're being pulled into fear, negativity, darkness, anger, bitterness. And one of the things we have to do is let the people know that righteousness is its own reward, people. It is its own reward. And all this fighting and all this hatred and negativity, it's wrong, people. It's a sin. It's actually more of a sin than what people think a sin is. People think sin is like stealing and stuff. Stealing is actually, but then people also think like being gay is a sin. False. It's actually, ironically, your hatred of people that is the sin. Fear, negativity, anger, bitterness, that's the sin. According to loving kindness philosophy. This is a philosophy that's in every major religion. So don't think that this is just some kooky, silly hoo-ha that I pulled up out of nowhere. No, this is actually the real tea. When you get into it, we're always shocked. We're always shocked. That's why I'm always shocked to see things like hold on. That's a healthy congregation. To see things like this brewing in the community, but it is Kali Yuga, people. The Hindus have warned us. It is Kali Yuga, time of highest suffering, time of highest ego control over our minds, and that's why things like this are happening. Let's take a look at it.
The children of anti-trans demonstrators.
Oh my God, this kid is, how cute is this homophobic little kid? This homophobic little goddamn kid. You know what I'm saying? He is just so goddamn adorable. Look at him. What is he doing? He knows not what he does.
A microcosm for the rising hostility facing the queer community in Canada.
Assault! Assault!
It all erupted on a normally quiet residential street in Ottawa, with police making at least 5 arrests. Wow. In a far-right event organized outside 3 schools.
Look at this. This Muslim auntie, what is she doing? Taking her kids? You are the sinner, ma'am. And also these guys with the Save Canada hats. Save Canada. Canada needs to be saved from you.
Christ is king! Christ is king!
Counter-protesters outnumbered anti-trans demonstrators. Police tried to keep both sides apart.
We have broad support here, and we're basically trying to push back against the transphobic message that and the hateful message.
That message is being amplified outside libraries and schools across the country as the number of anti-trans protests spike in Canada and anti-trans bills pass throughout North America.
I am disappointed to see that anti-trans protesters have decided to make their grievances heard in front of schools as opposed to Queen's Park or Parliament, where protests are perhaps better suited.
The demonstration comes right at the start of Pride Month and at a time of growing hostility towards the queer community, particularly trans people.
You can wear it all you want.
A protest in the Toronto area also turned hostile this week. Students walked out of school after the York Region Catholic School Board voted against raising the pride flag. An anti-trans activist from BC organized the rally in Ottawa against what he calls gender ideology.
Why are we telling kids that boys and girls aren't real?
Chris Elston is behind similar events across the
Nobody's
country.
saying that boys and girls aren't real.
I'm pro free speech. I think everyone deserves to have their voices heard.
But people who live in the area oppose the message and the location.
Oh, yeah. I mean, protesting at a school, like, give me a break. It's like protesting at the hospital. That's another pretty straightforward thing. You know, I have zero tolerance for that ridiculousness.
Protest at the government.
And in the face of intolerance, there's a push to make safe zones outside.
What is this guy wearing?
There's a push to make safe.
Look at that. It's basically a mullet. You see that? This is where, this is the positive point message here, is that the Muslim and the Christian have come together here. In a world of fighting, they have come together here.
Zones outside Canadian schools to prevent protests. Taria Isri, Global News, Ottawa.
You know where I got this from? Actually, Clyde Do Something is a big Canadian YouTube channel, and he's the one talking about it, and he's actually...
This doesn't seem like real violence in my... Tired of... Stop shoving it down our throats.
Shoving what down your throat, dude? You know, this is the problem, is that these guys are making it out...
On the road and at people.
That's the violence. Look at all that violence. And this is just... It's ridiculous because it's been shoved down everybody's throats so much. And finally, a generation of people are saying, this is enough. I'm tired of hearing about it. Go away. You're free to live your life the way you want, and nobody's telling you can't. Just tired of... Stop shoving it down our throats. Here we go.
Road.
I just feel like a big trans cock is being shoved down my throat. I'll tell you who's shoving something down anyone's throat. It's not a giant juicy trans cock being shoved down the throat. It's a homophobic, it's a conservative, in the closet, gay, homophobic cock that's been shoved down everyone's throat for generations. And I hope that metaphor came through. But what I'm saying is that there's a history of homophobia that these people aren't recognizing. And this is a film called Boys Beware from 1961. Let's hope we don't get copyright strike on it. Let me check my copyright striker. So far, so good. Let's get some more likes on that stream, shall we? Oh, sorry. Why is the police department making this? Have you guys seen this? Wow, the music is so nice. La 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 la. Being gay is a sin, and it's a sin, sin, sin. All gays will be...
I'm Lieutenant Williams, a police officer attached to the Juvenile Division. I'm on my way to Monroe Junior High School to talk to a group of young people. That looks innocent enough, doesn't it? Lots of young people hitchhike. Seems like a good way to get from one place to another. But sometimes there are dangers involved that never meet the eye. Let's take the case of Jimmy Barnes. Jimmy played baseball all afternoon, and he didn't feel like walking home, so he decided to thumb a ride.
Wow, what a nice culture, 1961.
He'd done it 100 100 times before, and he didn't think anything was unusual when the driver struck up a friendly conversation. In fact, he seemed like a real nice guy. He asked Jimmy if he played baseball in the park often.
Why does this guy have a
Jimmy told him
seatbelt
they
on? Put your
practiced 3 times
seatbelt
a
on,
week and
Jimmy.
played a rival group on Friday afternoon.
No seatbelts.
The stranger was a good listener, too, and it only seemed minutes before they pulled up in front of Jimmy's house. When Jimmy got out, the stranger gave him a friendly pat.
The stranger gave him a friendly pat on his cock and then offered to suck it. That's weird. Let's keep going. I feel like this is pretty reasonable here. I feel like this is pretty reasonable so far. What do you guys think? Hold on.
Then he told him he'd see him again.
Look at this skeezy gay guy. As if that's a gay guy. That's a conservative, dude. That's a conservative in the closet gay guy that's going to go to an anti-gay rally. That's who that is. Okay? I've seen, you know, like the one thing you could say about gay guys, they take care of themselves. They don't just like, this guy just looks like a married guy.
As he always drove by the park on his way home.
I guess the glasses are good.
Sure enough, the following day when Jimmy finished playing ball, well, the man was there waiting.
Wow. Dude, imagine in the 60s, like, your parents didn't even watch you that much. That's why people had way more kids back then, man. They just have kids. Yeah, okay, they'll figure it out. That's kind of the attitude back then. Now it's like, you have kids, dude. You watch your fucking kid.
Stopped at a drive-in and the
Get in a
stranger
car.
treated him to a Coke.
But I remember my ex-girlfriend. She was so pretty. And she told me that when she was 12, she just got in the car with some guy and he just drove her off somewhere. And then she had to basically cry her way out. She's like, I trusted people. I just trust them. I thought he was a nice guy. I trusted him. I don't know. And the guy just drove her somewhere. And then he's like, yeah. So you gonna stay with me? This is my house. Come inside. Something like that. Like, just drove her far away. And then she was like, can I go home? Can I go home? And the guy just was like, all right. Killed the mood and just took her home.
In a conversation, he told several off-color jokes. But Jimmy had heard others before, and, well, it made him feel big to so easily
off-color jokes warm him
win
up.
the confidence of an older person. The following Saturday, they went fishing together. By now, they were using first names.
Come on, dude. How did they... Can you imagine? Today, you can't get away
Ralph
with
said
it.
it was more friendly. Jimmy hadn't enjoyed himself so much in a long time.
Look at this.
Then during lunch, Ralph showed him some pornographic pictures. Jimmy knew he shouldn't be interested, but, well, he was curious. What Jimmy didn't know was that Ralph was sick. A sickness that was not visible like smallpox, but no less dangerous and contagious. A sickness of the mind. You see, Ralph was a homosexual.
Come on. Let's go to comments on that line. We got to go to comments on that. That's too much. That's too much. The sin has peaked, y'all. The sin has peaked. This is unacceptable, man. And there's been, 1,000 years of this. And it's really been maybe 20 years of gay pride. And gay pride is under attack. It's not right, people. Gay pride is such a great... I got to go this year. You know what? I'm going to text my boy right now. I'm going to be like, yo, fuck. We were going to go to Electric Island, this concert, but it's like, you know what? What the fuck is Electric Island? Let's go to fucking Pride. Are you retarded? Sorry. Yeah, we should be at Pride. Pardon me for saying retarded. Also, we got to go to Pride. Also, I wanted to pitch an idea to you guys. I do have an idea that I want to pitch to you guys. But right now, let's read a couple of these comments. Let's make sure everyone's on board with this. They just push these concepts to create division and block the love. Yeah, that's correct, y'all. That is correct. You see that? Homophobia is a collection of love blockers, and transphobia too. There's nothing, I mean, it's just hard to imagine. Every now and then someone tells me that, like, no, you know, the trans, I mean, they're brainwashing young people to be trans. Come on. I was raised by two sisters. I don't like sports. I don't like, you know, like, they did everything to basically make me gay. They dressed me up as a little girl. When I was a kid, they dressed me up like a beautiful, beautiful, sexy little baby girl when I was 5 years old. They dressed me up like a beautiful little girl. High heels, pearl necklace, makeup. They did all of it. And they did it once, and I was like, no. And then 2 weeks later, my sister's friend came over, and I was like, what are you guys doing? I just feel so pretty today. And I've got them to do it again. I basically reverse engineered. I basically reverse psychology them. I was like, dressing up like a girl again. I was dressing up. I was in drag at 5, people. At 5. Never liked sports. Never liked cars. But the one thing that I do like, vaginas and boobies. You can't brainwash it. I can tell you firsthand, brainwash has been done on me. 2 older sisters and my mom. Dad, very busy as a kid, you know. Dad, very busy as a child when I was a child. So not a lot of that influence there. Just 3 women constantly just channeling in their estrogen into me. Channeling in their estrogen. You can't make me suck a cock. I won't do it. And I wouldn't even let a guy do it. And I don't think I could let a trans person do it even. There you go, I said it. But then I have seen some smoke show trans people, and maybe I would let them strictly suck it. But that's it, people. And and just to be clear, I'd let them suck it strictly because they look like such hot women. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would just be like, oh, you got me. Oh, I thought it was a girl. Like, I could, that's how much they, like, it's got to be trans people that are good at it. I remember one time I got a match on Bumble, and it was a trans person, and they were like, they just stuck in with the girls, or actually not really. I guess they're trans and they've transitioned to a girl. But I matched with them, and they left me a message like, hi, Amish. Wow, you're so handsome. Something like that. Like, they left me a voicemail. And I was like, I didn't say anything, but I was like, sorry, buddy. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know? And it's like, look, is it me? Is it transphobia? No, it's me saying, like, look, you got to work on your, you know, you can't just change your voice a little bit and expect me to fall for it. I need better, you know, you gotta come. I used to dress up as a girl. So don't fuck around with this, you know, you put on a lipstick, I can still see the stubble, I can still see this. I don't want it. I can't do it. That's just my preference, though. Salman Khalaf says, Amish. And there's 3 skulls. Am I crossing the line on a couple of these? Listen, man, that's why I need you guys to hit the like, hit the subscribe, because you guys understand me. I'm here to support the trans community. I'm here to say that this anger, negativity, bitterness, it's low vibration. And it is a conservative tactic to brainwash the public into getting on board with these ridiculous things. I mean, it's the same thing in India. They talk about like, we got to go after the Muslim. And they talk about we got to go after the Muslim. Then what happens is that it puts you in a low vibration. Love blockers go up. And with the limited information you have, you know, Reverend Michael Beckwith says that when you're in a low vibration, meaning when you're sad, angry, bitter, whatever, you can only see this much of the world. You're basically only getting in that small sliver. Everything else is getting blocked out. All that other love and light's getting blocked out. And so in that low vibration, you start to think that, like, I got to fight against this. These are bad people. But listen, I told you what I think. I think it's unnecessary, absolutely unnecessary. And we're gonna do a Rumi oracle card at the end so that Rumi can tell us what to think of this. But that's where I'm at on that. I think it's absolutely unacceptable, especially when I see young Canadians getting on board with this kind of nonsense. I mean, Clyde do something even for him to put up this video and be like, oh, they're shoving it down our throats. What's shoving? You know what I would call shoving? This to me is a bit of a shove. This is shoving a big, what I'm seeing here is a big, erect, homophobic, conservative cock being shoved down everyone's throat. That's what this is. And you see, just like that, they project what they do onto others. You're the one doing it, and they've always been doing it. And the only reason they're not doing it now is because it's not popular and they lost all the votes, and they can't help themselves. They can't help it. They had, gay people infiltrated the Conservative Party, and they can't do this anymore. That's why the only reason they're not doing it, because they lost. They lost it federally, they lost it in the courts, and they lost it in the culture. So now they have to move on to trans. And I don't know, man. I mean, we talked about even the sports thing. The sports thing is the one case where I was kind of agreeing on it, but Sophie Gibson made a good point last time that, like, even the trans people converting genders, like Leah Thomas only won one of the races. The rest of the races, she fucking lost. So, who gives a shit? Let's play it.
It was not visible like smallpox, but no less dangerous and contagious, a sickness of the mind. You see, Ralph was a homosexual, a person who demands an intimate relationship with members of their own sex. But by now, Jimmy felt a fondness for Ralph, and they continued to go places together. Ralph was generous and took Jimmy many interesting places and did many nice things for him.
Where are Jimmy's parents? They should be watching out. They should be like, who is this guy? You're just hanging out with a grown-ass man?
And even gave him money, but payments were expected in return. You see, Jimmy hadn't recognized Ralph's approach soon enough. When Ralph first asked Jimmy to go fishing alone, he should have discussed it with his parents or teacher. Finally, Jimmy told his parents, and they reported it to the juvenile authorities. Ralph was arrested, and Jimmy was released on probation in the custody of his parents.
Why was Jimmy released on probation?
But all homosexuals are not passive. Some resort to violence, as in the case of Mike Merrick. In the heat of competition, no one noticed the man who sat and watched. And when the game broke up and the others left, Mike decided to stay and practice a little longer.
Oh no.
The stranger joined him. He was friendly and, well, it was better than playing alone.
So gay. Look how he does the shot.
Stranger joined him. He was friendly and,
wow,
well,
he kicked his foot up.
Playing alone.
He did the shot like this.
But after a few shots, Mike realized he had already overstayed his time and suggested he better leave. The stranger told him if he'd like to stay longer, he'd be glad to drive him home when they finished.
Wow, this guy's a bow tie?
Mike. Chance to play longer and get a ride home, too.
This guy came with a suit and a bow tie to the court. Man, these gay portrayals are off, man. They know how to dress for the occasion, dude. They're not going to wear a suit and tie to the basketball court. Got to get them kids. The music is great. Rewind Cat says the music on this propaganda is awesome, though. Yeah, dude. I mean, the music, it's like Disney, teaching kids a valuable lesson kind of music. It's like, oh, don't end up being gay. Come on, guys. That music should be reserved for teaching kids good, positive life lessons. Not this kind of life lesson of like, don't trust a guy if he's gay, or there's gay people all around trying to get you. It's unacceptable.
When they finished, the stranger told him he'd make a fine player someday if he got lots of practice. The companionship, the praise, the friendly attitude dispelled any misgivings Mike might have had about going with a stranger. He probably never realized until too late that he was riding in the shadow of death.
In the shadow of death?
That evening, Mike Merrick traded his life for a newspaper headline. As Denny and Jerry got the papers ready for Jerry's afternoon delivery, they only casually noticed the two boys that raced by in the afternoon traffic. And they didn't pay much attention to the car that drew up shortly afterwards until the man called them over.
Oh, it's the bow tie, same guy.
Had two boys been by on bicycles? The boys nodded they had. Could they recognize them if they saw them again? Well, Denny guessed he could. Then hop in, the man said. Those are stolen bikes. Without giving it another thought, Denny got in and the car sped away. Jerry watched. He'd been told many times, if a friend got in a car with a stranger, to write down the license number. It didn't seem to apply, but, well, fortunately, he marked it down.
Yeah, it should be a don't get into a stranger's car ad. First mate Nicolette Cutthroat says, looks like more of a don't get in a stranger's car. That is true. Dank says, good morning, congregation. Good morning, baby. What's up? Come on in, y'all. Come on in.
Wow, we're just a little buttercup, aren't we?
Very important issues to discuss with the community. So you guys are doing a very good. Karma's coming in here talking about this. No government building is flying a Jesus flag. Just saying. Huh. Well, the main flag and national anthem usually does represent, like, this is our country. We took it over. You know, we are technically secular, though, so we don't put Jesus. But we do put the flag. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, this Jehovah's Witness was like, I'm not going to stand up for the national anthem. And I thought it was so dumb. I was like so proudly Canadian. I was like, how dare he not stand up for the national anthem? Then I talked to Indigenous people, and I was like, okay, I get it. It is like, it is. What's these flags? I mean, what is this? I don't know. I don't know if it's doing us any good. And there is this blind kind of sense of like, well, you have to be patriotic. You have to love the country. It's like, well, what good is that doing for the country? First of all, it is the basis of nationalism. It's the basis of it. I'm not saying that it is always. But also, like, why are we drawing arbitrary lines on a map and saying, like, oh, you're from this side, you're on my team, and those guys are, oh. You know, like, it does seem, like, silly as I grow up, you know, and as I learn the philosophy of the love and the light, that we are all children of the Most High God, and this whole earth is, and this whole universe really is part of God's creation. Why make the divisions? Why make division? Even if it's in a positive sense, why make the divisions? What do you guys think, though? Tell me. That's a little extreme of me in some circles, I think.
When he delivered a paper to Denny's house, he asked his mother if they'd caught the boys that had stolen the bicycles. Denny hadn't returned, so he told her the story and gave her the paper with the license number.
Wow, this is interesting how this is becoming a more complex story now.
Being a careful parent, she decided to call the police. Jerry supplied the necessary information, and the stranger's car was quickly spotted. It was a good example of how important it is to always get the license number and description of any stranger who takes a young person off alone, no matter what they tell you.
Yeah, don't ride with strangers is a good message, I guess. But this guy didn't even do anything. Did he? What did he do?
Public restrooms can often be a hangout for the homosexual. Bobby and his friends hadn't noticed the man who had been in the restroom when they changed, and as it was late, he suggested they take the shortcut under the pier.
Classic. These are the roots of today's transphobia. At first, they said the gay guys are in the change room watching you change. Come on, dude. Are they watching you change? I mean, I almost feel like I remember I dated this girl who, like, she'd ride her bike in the city, and she wore these, like, short skirts, and everyone could see her underwear. And I'm like, everyone could see her underwear, everyone's staring at her, and she's like, yeah, so what? So what? I didn't do anything. Yeah, guys are. Maybe we should have more of that attitude, you know, like, okay, one gay guy came in and he looked at everyone and then he left, and then we all went on with our days. I mean, honestly. He saw my penis and then he left, and that's fine. You know, I remember I got an email one time trying to blackmail me, saying like, hey, I got all these videos of you masturbating to pornography. I was able to turn on your camera and see all of the filthy websites you're watching, and you're masturbating to pornographies. And they said, if you don't give $1,000 right away, I'm going to send the video of you masturbating to pornographies to 7 of your best friends by tomorrow. And if I don't get the money by then, and then it'll continue to be 7 more people, the closest people in your life, and they'll all think you're a sicko until you hand over the $1,000. I got an email like that. And I almost responded back saying, send it. That's their problem. That's not my problem. If you send videos of me jerking off to other people, let's be very clear. That's their goddamn problem. I don't care. I don't care.
But the others preferred to take the more...
But I guess it is harder for women, though, because women, then they're, I don't expect women to have that. But I know some hot girls that are like that. They're like, whatever. Yeah, everyone saw my bum and everyone saw my underwear. Whatever.
Traveled way home. When Bobby recognized the stranger as the man in the restroom, the shortcut under the pier didn't seem like a good idea at all.
Whoa, this guy's... Finally, they have a gay guy who actually did something wrong. The other gay guys didn't even do anything. What do they do? They're just hanging out, really. I mean, one guy's kind of babysitting. You got a 12-year-old walking around alone. The guy's teaching him how to fish. The other guy's playing basketball with him. But they're trying to get close. I get it. It's wrong.
After all, it's more fun to stay with your friends anyway. Bobby had made a wise decision. It may have saved his life. The decision is always yours, and your whole future may depend on making the right one. So no matter where you meet a stranger, be careful if they are too friendly, if they try to win your confidence too quickly, and if they become overly personal. One never knows when the homosexual is about. He may appear normal, and it may be too late when you discover he is mentally ill. So keep with your group.
Jesus
and don't go off alone with strangers unless you have the permission of your parent or teacher.
Sid Davis production. Let's talk to the congregation. Oh my God, I just did such a banger workout right now. Holy shit, my legs are destroyed. I can't even stand up. Justin, propaganda always gets the budget. Justin Consciousness. Move is stupid. Just seems to be shot well. Exactly, LOL. Sophia says, as a gay person, I personally wouldn't really care if they didn't put up pride flags on government buildings, to be honest. It doesn't really matter to me. Just do the country and state and call it a day. Just do the country and state and call it a day. Yeah, no, I mean... Yeah, I wouldn't... I'm not against it, and I'm not necessarily for it. Like, I'm not out here saying, you gotta put the gay pride flag up. It's Pride Month. It is a whole month. But here's why it's a whole month, though. This is why. And, I mean, if you watch movies like Milk, you see the struggle that they've gone through. It's just, and dude, the amount of times that it's just, okay, can we just look at this Lindsey Graham? I want to do Lindsey Graham.
Donald Trump has said repeatedly that he did nothing wrong.
I love this clip.
Do you believe that?
This is one of my favorite clips. You know, you got politicians like this out here, right? Right?
Well, here's what I believe. We live in an America where if you're the Democratic candidate for president, Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, you can set up a private server in your basement to conduct government business. And when an investigation is had about your activity, no, let me finish.
But you didn't
The way he goes, no, let me finish. He's so good. Just be gay, right? Do you see who's in charge here? And this guy has a history of passing anti-gay legislation. Just be gay, brother. Do you see what this is? This is wasted energy. Wasted energies. You know, all he needs to do is he just wants a big old cock in his mouth. And he doesn't get to have that. And now he has to do this. The guy goes, George Stephanopoulos doesn't even say anything. Like, he just says one word, like, now, hold on a second. No, now, you wait a minute.
He did nothing wrong. Do you believe that?
Well, here's what I believe. We live in an America where if you're the Democratic candidate for president, Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, you can set up a private server in your basement to conduct government business. And when an investigation...
That's it. He goes, Senator... He's a senator.
...is had about your activity. No, let me finish.
It's like a good pause later. He goes, Senator, no, let me finish.
But you didn't answer the question.
That was ridiculous. Well, yeah.
Even the way he says ridiculous. You're being ridiculous.
I'm trying to answer the question from a Republican point of view. That may not be acceptable on this show.
Opinion, Blade. The sad closeted hypocrisy of Lindsey Graham. SC Senator pushes a Supreme Court justice hostile to LGBTQ rights. What? Why, brother? Why? Why not just be gay? Just be gay, brother. Senator Lindsey Graham returned to the national spotlight this week, overseeing the confirmation hearings of Amy Coney Barrett. The irony of this appears largely lost on the mainstream media. Yeah. Here we go. The law of the land by the Supreme Court is that same-sex marriage is now legal, Graham replied. I accept that ruling. We're a conservative state. There are a lot of religious people around this state that believe in traditional marriage. They're not bigots. They're not Neanderthals for believing in that. But this man, under our law, has the right to his relationship. I'll honor the law of the land. I've never tried to be tolerant. I've tried to understand that people have different life experiences. I do. I'm not a woman. I'm not a person of color. But I wish I could just suck on a giant cock. No, he didn't say that. I listen. But I can tell you right now that when it comes to South Carolina, I think I've been an effective voice for who we are. And to the gentleman, the law of the land is that same-sex marriage is legal, and we will honor that. Okay, fine. Of course, that's a far cry from actually endorsing marriage equality. Yeah, he's basically like, it's the law of the land, and I got to go along with it. Fine. Fine. Chelsea Handler accuses Lindsey Graham of being gay. Jen Psaki slammed for homophobic tweet about Lindsey Graham. Yeah, it's weird. Only in 2020 does hashtag Lady G get to push a bunch of debunked conspiracy theories whilst questioning Sally Q. Yates, a.k.a. an American hero. That's what it was? Okay. What do y'all think here? Let's read some of these comments. And then I do have to pitch an idea to you guys for a show, this TV show that I'm trying to write, that I'm trying to make. It's not even a TV show, it's a YouTube show that we're going to do on this channel. So I got to pitch that to you, and then we're going to do one Rumi Oracle card. Let's pick the card right now, actually. No, let's do a couple of these. Back to the propaganda video. If they cared about kids, they would have showed a variety of dangerous predatory scenarios, not just the gay dude. They didn't actually care about kids. 100% Rewind Cat. 100%, man. By the way, Rewind Cat, we got to get that wrench on you. I don't know if y'all know this, but Rewind Cat is the one who actually went into the Blender file and figured out how to extract these graphics for us. So thank you, Rewind Cat. You are loved and you are appreciated. And we got to get you that wrench, brother. We got to get you that wrench. We gotta get you that ranch, brother. Oh my God, I had such a hard workout today. Justin Constance, Lindsey Graham is like a real life caricature of a Southerner. I know, and a real life caricature of like a gay in the closet Southerner. Not just like the Southerners have the bit of that twang, but he is like a gay in the closet. Now, just hold on a minute. He's so silly. I think it's pretty simple. If you don't like gay marriage, you don't have one. If you want a traditional marriage, have one. LOL. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Sophia Gibson coming in with that ranch. Reefer Madness goes hard. Oh, we got to do some Reefer Madness clips. Let's do Reefer Madness tomorrow. Because it is a brainwash on the community, and we do want to raise the vibration. We want to get people out of thinking like that in those negativities. All brainwashes are all brainwashes. That's why it's so important that we talk about brainwashing, because all brainwashes are built using love blockers. You can only brainwash with a love blocker, because you block out the information, and then with what's left, the person has to have the same opinion as you, and the brain has been washed. They've been washed of the full love and light of the situation. It's actually the reverse of washing. Because if you opened up your mind and let the full love and light in, that would be washing. What we're doing here, we are the real brainwashers. By telling you not to think like that, we're the real brainwashers. And those guys are the brain dirtiers. They dirty the mind. They put up love blockers. Guck and filth in the mind, blocking out love. They're and we are the real brainwashing, and brainwashing is actually a good thing. Washing things is good. And brainwashing should be a good thing. It should be cleansing the brain with the love and the light, with the truth, with knowledge, right? It's crazy that they've hijacked the term brainwash. They've turned brainwashing into a pejorative, and they've put it on the opposite people, when they're the ones doing, it's ridiculous. Ranch is too much responsibility. All good, baby. We don't have to put that on you, baby. We don't have to put that on you. It's actually nice to see a couple of people, just like every now and Justin Consciousness. I mean, that's a great name for someone with a ranch. And Sophia Gibson, too. Thanks for coming, y'all. Raziel the Great, Southern Lisp, white, mid in the 60s, and still single. Gay, honey. Come on now, lol. Gay, honey. That's gay. Rewind Cat, and now take the same tactic and apply it to the war on drugs, the war on terror, etc. Exactly. War on Russia, war on Trump. Same thing, man. Same thing. I'm not saying, I like that Justin Conscious says, cleanse it. Cleanse it. We will cleanse it with our pontifications, Justin. We will cleanse it. What else did I want to show you guys? I do have this Mendocino clip that I did want to show you, where Mendocino basically threatens violence upon hold on. There is this clip. Should we watch this clip? It's Canadian politics. This is embarrassing that this is happening. We also got to talk about RFK Jr. We can talk about this next time. I think this guy's going to get fired, though. It's 10:55. Let's do this quick.
Canadian women have to relive the traumatization of hearing Paul Bernardo's name. They all remember his horrific and monstrous crimes. They learned that this government decided to free this monster from maximum security prison and allow him to go to medium security, where he'd be able to interact with other people, have visitors, and enjoy other liberties. Now, this minister claimed this was all a big surprise to him. However, we learned today that his office knew.
So if you guys don't know, Paul Bernardo is like a very vicious serial killer. Went to jail like 30. When I was a kid, I remember it was a famous story. He killed his girl. It's crazy because some people, some of us, when we were in high school, we couldn't have sex. Like, we couldn't get one girl to have sex with us. This guy's banging two girls, and then he fucking murders them. And he's crazy, right? I mean, he's obviously crazy. He's in maximum security. Now, the conservatives have this tough on crime attitude. And I guess the liberals just let it slide under the radar that he was being moved to a medium security place from maximum security. Now, the liberals, what they should have done is they should have said, like, listen, man, everything's fine. He's in the medium security. Okay, fine. You want him maximum? We'll put him back in maximum. Like, that's what they should be doing. But what they do instead, because this is a little bit of like, this is like classic conservative politics. Like, they're trying to scare you into thinking like, oh, this serial killer is going to be back on the streets. When really, it's like he just got moved from maximum security to medium security. Medium security is pretty solid. Like, they're not if anything, he could have been figuring out a way to break out of maximum security. Then they fucked him up, put him in the medium security. No, he's not going to break out. He's not going to be out on the street. But this is a classic conservative technique to scare people. So they're like, oh, this guy's a serial killer, and these guys are soft on crime, and they're just going to let him out. The way he even says it, he's like, Paul Bernardo is free from a maximum security prison into a medium security prison, and they have let him walk free. So I feel like the Liberals, what they should have responded with is like, hey man, he's in medium. You want to go back to maximum? We'll put him back in fucking maximum. Fuck off. But this is what they're so crazy. They're so caught up in fighting with each other that this is what happens.
In early March and was informed again in May. In other words, he did know, and what he said was false. Will he resign?
The Honourable Minister.
Oh, Didier, you got that recap? That's the recap.
Speaker, nothing could be further from the truth. As I said earlier, I was informed on May 30th, the day after Paul Bernardo was physically transferred to a medium security institution. And at that time, I took immediate action expressing the concerns of the families of Leslie Mahaffey and Kristen French to the commissioner. There is an internal review process. I have also made it clear to my staff that this should have been briefed immediately. Corrective steps have been taken. I have dealt with it, and we will now always defend the rights of victims.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, now he's throwing his staff.
Dude, look at how it's building.
Staff under the bus. His office admits that they found out on March the 2nd, 3 months before the minister claimed to be shocked by the news. If his staff had really kept a secret from him of this enormity, he would have fired them a long time ago. But he hasn't, because he knows, and they know, that he knew way back then. So will he do the only honorable thing that is left for him to do, and resign?
Boom!
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Man, the Conservatives stand up for every fucking thing to clap, and the Liberals don't stand up. What is that? Someone needs to tell me this, goddammit. Because it's not like he's making banger points every time. They just stand up and clap every time so it looks like it, and the Liberals don't go down and fucking stand up.
Mr. Speaker, I invite the Leader of the Conservative Party to repeat that allegation outside of the House. I will absolutely reject it. I knew on May 30th...
Come on, dude. He's basically saying, let's go outside and fight. That's what it was. He's basically saying, let's go outside and fight.
Order. 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 I'm going to ask the members to take a deep breath.
This guy needs to tighten his back up, goddammit. I don't like this guy either. He needs to stand up straight, man. What's this? Order.
I know some of the topics
we're
discussing here are very emotional and we get carried away, but I'm going to ask everyone to take a deep breath and allow the minister to answer so that the honourable member of the Leader of the Opposition can hear the answer. The Honourable Minister, please continue. You have 22 seconds.
Mr. Speaker, it is the Leader of the Conservative Party of Canada who misleads this House when he impugns my knowledge before May 30th. I had made it absolutely clear that that was the day on which I found out. I have taken corrective steps internally with my office, an office for which I am responsible for, to this Parliament, to the Canadian public, which is why immediately upon knowing that fact that he was transferred to a medium security institution, I raised it with the Commissioner. I've spoken.
You see, this is loving kindness would solve this immediately, because instead of, like, everyone can see through the fact that he is, like, obviously he screwed up. He is throwing his staff under the bus. He's basically saying, like, I found out on this date, so I couldn't do anything before that date, but your office knew. I mean, does it even matter? Who cares? But the fighting outside, it's unacceptable.
With the representatives of the families of Leslie Mahaffey and Kristen French, and we will always defend.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, first of all, I have stated all of these things outside of the House of Commons, so whatever threat he's trying to make, he can act on. But more important than that, he did not act. His office knew on March the 2nd.
This guy's so tight, man. That's the problem. That's the real problem the Liberals have, is that this motherfucker is so fucking tight. He comes back like so good every time. And it's all like in the moment, like he knows how to come back with rips. So first he says, First, he can't let go of this, like, meet me outside. He's like, oh, you want to meet outside? I've said it outside several times. Bitch! So do something. But he hasn't done anything. That's basically what it is. This is like childhood bullying. This is childhood bullying. But instead of, like, when we were in school as kids, the teacher would be like, no, we're not fighting. We're going to get to the heart of this problem. We're going to solve it. Canadian politics, these are grown-ass people. They don't get to the heart of the problem. They just go back and forth with the fight.
Whatever threat he's trying to make, he can act on. But more important than that, he did not act. His office knew.
He did not act.
On March the 2nd. He expects us to
guy's
believe
got the comebacks.
that his staff just forgot to walk down the hall and inform him that perhaps the most notorious killer in Canadian history was being moved out of a maximum security penitentiary to enjoy more luxuries and more freedoms in a medium security penitentiary. Finally, he has the power now to designate mass murderers all to go into maximum security prisons. He could have done that weeks ago. Why hasn't he done it, and why hasn't he resigned?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada lays out a prescription for political interference which foreshadows what Canadians would get with a Conservative government. On this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, we recognize the independence of those decisions, and when I became aware of the fact that Bernardo had been transferred to a medium security institution, I raised it with the Commissioner.
This is nonstop, dude. This is for hooligans. Hooligans. Let's go back to the break time. Because I do have a show that I want to pitch to you guys. I do have a show that I want to pitch to you guys. And Justin Conscious is top-notch order. Yeah, the other guy's an idiot. So dumb. Pierre's voice is like a chainsaw. Oh, really, eh? Oh, Rewind Cat, you're Canadian? You don't like Pierre? You don't like Trudeau? You don't like Pierre? Is like a chainsaw. Like, I can't tell if that's a compliment or an insult. It sounds either you're saying like the guy rips, because a chainsaw just goes ring, ding, 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 rip, 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 rip. Like it's a ripper? Are you saying? Or are you saying that it's like nails on a chalkboard, you don't like to hear it? Good point. These guys are not setting a good example by their behavior. How much are they getting paid by taxes too? I know. They're built to fight with each other. And that is a low vibration. Sorry, politics is actually a very low vibration activity. Politics, military. And unfortunately, like traditional institutional religion has also become like a hierarchy and has become basically similar to this. It's just petty, fighting and like, let's go after gay people. Let's go. Where's the mission of love? Where's the mission of upliftment? I mean, the guy goes from maximum security to medium security. I guess it's a big deal. I don't know. Why don't the liberals just say, hey, man, if the guy gets out and kills someone, fuck it, I'll quit. Fucker. Fuck you. That's what he should say. But the liberals don't even know to think like that. Like that's the problem. When you're in a fight, you can't think straight. So you're just like, no, I didn't know. No, it was my fault. I didn't know. Fucking own it, man. Just say, yeah, okay, so he went to a medium security. Fuck you. What do you do? Kill someone? What do you want to do? Like sit on the guy and watch him? You want me to go like stab him with a knife every 2 seconds? The guy did what he did, man. Let him fucking rot. Either way, he's not getting out of jail. Or do you guys think that Pierre is bringing up like a meaningless thing here and trying to be like, you have to quit now because he went from maximum security to medium security. You have to quit. Like why the liberals? Why even play into that argument? Why not just do the other argument of like, listen, man, medium security and maximum security are almost the same. It sounds bad, but he's not going to get out. And if it's a big deal to you and the Canadian people, we'll put him in fucking maximum security. What's the big deal? That is, I feel like, a better one. But whatever. No, his tone of voice. Don't you hear it? Ring, 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 ring. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like him. A lot of Canadians love Trudeau and they hate Pierre Poilievre. And they think that he's just doing division, politics of division. I think that guy's going to have to resign, though. Let's move on, shall we? I do want to tell you about, well, first let's do our Rumi Oracle card and then I'll tell you about my idea. And let's combine it, and maybe think about any major projects you have coming up in your life. And let's use this, let's see if Rumi can guide us with the love and the light into creating banger projects. Because I remember years ago, my mom made this offer to me. She's like, listen, you get married, you have a kid, $5,000 a month. That's what my mom told me. She's like, I'll give you $5,000 a month. You get married, have a kid, $5,000 a month. And at first I was like, I'm like, it's $60,000. Why would I do that? It's nothing. Like, you have a kid, you know how expensive kids are? I'm not doing that shit. But then I told some girls about it, some hitters, some hot girls. And they were kind of like, they were looking at me like, They got excited. They were like, I should do that. Can I do it? Like, see, these white girls were like, can I do it? And I'm like, yeah. As long as you're not Muslim, or as long as you're not like hardcore. Even if you're Hindu, you can't be religiously in a different religion, especially not Muslim. So sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. You know I speak for the Muslim. I think it's wrong. And look, if you're Muslim, we can still get married. But I think the 5,000 would be off the table. And I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry for the racism in the Patel community and in my family. And it's the Patel Hindu community at large, and it's my family. There is a racism there, and I'm sorry about that. But I think Muslim, we can get married. But the 5K would be off the table. And I'm so sorry about that. And I don't know if I should say this, but I do want to start doing some videos where maybe it's like it's a YouTube series of like, my mom's giving me $5,000 a month to get married, have a kid. Let's see what we can do. And then I got to go meet girls, basically. Put out ads, put up a billboard, make a YouTube, maybe like make a advertisement and start advertising it. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think? I think it would make a great reality TV show. But I do want to know what you guys think. Now, here's my question to you. I feel yoy homies, my ex was Hindu. Salman Khalaf. Good. Brother, and I support you. You know, I support you. And what a annoying mess to be in, to be a Muslim guy, and your girlfriend's Hindu, and her family's like busting your balls all the time. Here's the thing, and let's be totally honest. Let's just say you are Muslim, right? We don't get the 5,000 up front. Let me tell you something. When she dies, we're getting the full lump sum. So I don't want you to feel like the racism is that bad, but. Didier Munya Barenzi says, this sounds lit, would be hilarious. I think it would be a fucking ripper, dude. Your mom loves you. My mom only promised she wouldn't change her number in case of emergency after she kicked me out after HS graduation. P. Morton, you got kicked out after graduation, eh? Well, that's nice. That's the nice thing about being a Hindu is that, her house is actually my house. I do whatever the fuck I want. Look at this. It's a mansion. I came back after COVID and I'm like, why am I living down there? And I told you guys before, she's deaf. I fucked 2 girls in here. She can't hear shit. She can't hear a goddamn thing. Either I set it up so I go to the girl's house but honestly, it is hard. And a lot of girls have said no. Like, I'm not coming to your mom's house. You know what I'm saying? So I have tried rebranding it as it's my house and I rent it to her. You know what I mean? Something like that. And then when they come over, I'm like, Miss Patel, gotta get it. Rent is late. You gotta pay your rent, Miss Patel. Something like that. But okay, cool. We'll talk about this more in the next episode. It's 11:10. It's gonna be 11:11 in a minute. Let's pick the card right at 11:11. When that hits 11:11, Rumi is gonna come through on the 11. And I'm watching the timer. And when that hits 11, I'm gonna hit the stop. And bing, bang, boom, we got our card, baby. We got our card, and it's going to be a ripper. I know it. And it's going to be a card that will help me with this show, but help you with whatever project you're working on. What project are you working on? Start bringing it into your consciousness. Bring it into your heart. What is a difficult project you're working on? Bring it into your heart. Boom. Oh, do you see how the cards line up? Al-Uzza, Star of Venus. Of course, I'm telling you about doing this show. And we're going to get, and I was telling my boy, my buddy that has an MBA, I'm like, dude, we got to do billboards. We got to do a YouTube ad, Tinder ad. We got to do Tinder photo shoot. We got to do fucking whatever it takes. And here's the thing. Here's the stakes, because in movies you have to have stakes. My mom just had 2 heart attacks, and she had a cancer surgery before that. And she's still out of breath a little bit. So, we got to move on this, people. We got to move on this. I think it's going to be a great show. What do you guys... But yeah, like let me know in the comment section. But also message me on Instagram if you have any ideas. Because I was watching a couple of Yes Theory videos, and they do it. They do like taking a girl on a dream date to this place. And I always found their videos a little chill, a little like family-ish. And I would like to be a little more grimy than that, but not so dirty or anything. Like not like mean to the girls. I would always be very nice and respectful to the girls. You know, but it would have to be setting up situations where like I'm a king, and then it's like, you know, like I was watching this video of Larry David, and he has an episode where he basically gets his friend to try to steal a woman's purse, and then he comes in and gets it and chases him off, and then he asks the girl on a date. We got to engineer situations like that. That's the kind of silly shit I want to do. Anyway, Al-Uzza, Star of Venus. Rumi, you heard what I want to do. You heard what I'm putting in the universe. You heard what's in my heart. Let's see if this is this project. Let's see what Rumi has to say about it. I am the pure light, my son. Thank you. I am not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. Perceive me with eyes that see the unseen. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you. Rumi. That's not Rumi that's inside you. That's God. That's God's energy. That's the love and the light. When you close your eyes, you see it. I am the pure light, let me read it again. Al-Uzza, Star of Venus. I am the pure light, my son. I am not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. If you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, close your eyes right now. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. Perceive me with eyes that see the unseen, the mind's eye. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you, Rumi. My beautiful one, born of pure radiance, you have love in your heart and a passion for play that cannot be dulled by bleakness, boredom, or fear. Your soul is sensual and dances with life with utter abandonment and devotion. Though the ways of this world seem strange to you at times, you eventually declare it to be nothing but strange beauty and expand your heart, resisting nothing, to allow all to be bathed in the radiance of your being. Let me put some music on for this. This is a song called Prophet 7 by Noir A. Blanc V from the YouTube Creator Library, and you're listening to the drip, 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 rip, and dap. You are here to share the light of another world, a blessed world of consciousness pure and divinity so absolute that it transcends duality and instead brings all into the oneness of the greatest love. God damn, this is good, eh? Okay, this is the sacred honoring ritual. Put your hands on your heart. I call upon Rumi, who loves me and my congregation unconditionally. Beloved of my own soul, bless me now that I can dispense with limiting notions of what it is to be a man or a woman, that I can... Wow. Do you see how it addresses the trans issue that we started the episode with? The trans issue and the gay issue that we started the episode with, it is addressed in this. So you can see that the love and the light is shining through on our congregation. This is so powerful. Beloved of my own soul, bless me now that I can dispense with limiting notions of what it is to be a man or a woman, that I can become freer to live as one integrated being. May my relationships become richer and freer, empowered and healing. Al-Uzza! Shining, one who loves me beyond any condition. May I live truthfully in the light of you, great star of Venus, in your infinite wisdom, love, and conscious grace. Through divine mercy and unconditional love, this healing is now begun. Thanks for coming, everyone. I do appreciate y'all. And we got some new graphics coming in thanks to Rewind Cat. Look at this. Look how beautiful that Ashram looks. Look at that Ashram. Great episode. Thanks everyone for coming. Tomorrow, send me some silly stuff you find on the internet. If you find anything silly, you send that to me, okay? I would love to talk about it and read about it and be about it. And it's time to play our closing track. There it is. That's the inside of the bus, by the way. Inside of the bus. What a beauty bus, eh? Look at that thing. Thanks for coming, Rewind Cat. Just saying, have some amazing stories. Please start writing this stuff down. I'll sub. Yes. No. I think we got to put it on this channel. So we got to figure out how to do it. Yeah, I got to figure out all the channel stuff. But it's got to be YouTube, and it's got to be like... It would be nice to integrate it, but it is not really related to... we got to figure out how to do it. But yeah, it might have to be on a separate channel. Maybe have to be on my personal channel. I have a personal channel. So thanks for coming, everyone. Justin Consciousness, Sophia Gibson with them ranches. Keeping y'all in check. Thanks for coming. Have a blessed day. P. Morton says... Rewind Cat, you got to rebrand it sometimes. You got to rebrand it. Listen, a lot of us are going to be living with our parents. A lot of us are going to be living with our parents. So, you know what I'm saying? Not by... I'm doing it by choice. But a lot of us are going to be living with our parents. Why not, dude? My mom's, we're having a good time, me and my mom. If I had to drive here from Toronto, I would never come to see my mom. Are you kidding me? I'd see her. My sisters can barely come with their kids and everything. I'm here with her. I'm taking her shopping. Yesterday I took her to the casino. We're having a great time, me and my mama. So take care of your mamas too. You know what I'm saying? Give them a hug, give them a kiss. Because one day they're gonna be gone, right? And then you gotta hustle with them. You gotta make it happen. Spend time. And spend time loving each other too. Thanks y'all for coming. P. Morton is here. Salman Khalaf is here. Zemzem. By the way, I would marry a Muslim person. I would not discriminate on a Muslim person, but I can't guarantee my mother's money for a Muslim. That's my only issue. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just Muslims, probably like black too. It's probably whites and browns only. If I'm being honest, whites and brown Hindus only. If you're black or Muslim, I don't know. I don't know if we can get the 5K. And I don't know if that's something that we should be saying in the show. I don't know, but